North America's pizza business is in the midst of a new wave of competitive pressure as turnaround efforts at Domino's and Papa John's start to gain traction. But the number 3 pizza chain in North America, Little Caesars, is ready to stand its ground. For more, we spoke with the CEO, David Scrivano, for a look at his strategy.
Well, Little Caesars, first of all, we're a global company. We're in 24 markets around the world. We specialize in carry-out pizzas, best tasting pizza at the best value. And we're known for our hot and ready pizzas. In Canada, you can get our main product is $5.99 pepperoni pizza. It's spectacular.
So, of course, speed counts. It's not called the fast food industry for nothing. And that's probably your most famous product right now, the hot and ready pizza. In America, people can walk in and grab it for $5.
Yeah, you can walk in, grab it. America, Canada, most of the world, we utilize our hot and ready concept. And the customers love it because it's great convenience. You just walk in, pizza's ready, and you can walk out.
Speaking of convenience, though, you launched this pizza portal in the States more than a year ago. And the idea is people have the app. They can pay for it by the app, and then they just show up at your store, punch in a code, and grab their pizza out of a heated container. You're now bringing that or a heated dispenser. You're bringing that to Canada now.
Yeah, we just launched the pizza portal in Canada. We actually call it the Reserve and Ready system. So we're bringing hot and ready to the next level. Customers in Canada can just go on a Little Caesars mobile app, order any pizza they want, whenever they want. The app will notify you when the pizza's ready. You walk in the store, you type in a code into the pizza portal, your own compartment, locked compartment opens up for you, and then you pull your pizza out and you're on your way. Seconds in the store, the most convenient way to get pizza.
You're number 3 in the States behind Domino's and Pizza Hut in terms of scale. Tell us, geographically, what kind of areas, what kind of cities do you plan to move into?
Well, you know, in Canada, we're also fairly large. We have hundreds of stores in Canada. We're primarily in the suburbs, but we want to serve all Canadians, so we continue to grow. We've had over 10 consecutive years of growth in Canada, and we hope to continue to penetrate that market. We think it's a spectacular market.
It's interesting, you guys have decided strategically not to invest in your own delivery services. You focus on carry-out. Why did you make that decision?
Well, we think carry-out is the best way for consumers to access their pizza. And we think the hot and ready product allows them to access it quicker. And now with the pizza portal, you can get any kind of pizza you want. It also allows us to serve the best value pizza. So we can create a situation where customers get the lowest price for the product that they want, and they just come in and pick it up very conveniently where our locations are.
Let's get into commodity prices. Now, as you know, we just saw Dean Foods, the milk giant, filing for protection from creditors. America's had a milk surplus for quite a while. Has that meant cheap cheese for pizza companies like you?
Well, interestingly, actually, cheese prices recently have gone up. And in Canada, of course, it's a different market, and cheese prices are very stable in Canada. But in the U.S., you know, we've seen an increase in cheese prices. But that's okay. We've seen commodities fluctuate up and down. We've actually kept our prices at the best value in the industry, regardless of commodity prices, because we think our operating model is more efficient that allows us to keep our prices low for the consumer.
What are your big variables? Presumably cheese is one of your big costs, and energy for cooking the pizzas.
Sure. Well, cheese costs and the cost of other ingredients like flour and pepperoni. We do make our dough fresh every day in our stores. We're very unique because we do make our dough fresh every day in our stores. So flour is dependent on commodity price. The cost of labor, the cost of energy, the cost of rent. Those are really our biggest input costs.
Now, you trained as a biologist. You have a Bachelor of Science, so I'm really interested to hear your answers to these questions. What about gluten-free? Have you rolled out gluten-free products?
We have tested gluten-free. You know, we've tested all kinds of. We've tested plant-based products. We've tested low-carb products in the past. So there's a lot of biology that goes into pizza. We always try to test to see where the consumer is going and implement where we can.
So it sounds like you haven't gone whole hog yet on gluten-free. You haven't rolled out a suite of products.
It's not fully rolled out, but we certainly have been testing and keeping an eye on that market.
And tell us then, you mentioned this plant-based. You've teamed up with Impossible Foods, the maker of the Impossible Burger, to give you a sausage product for your pizzas.
Yeah, in the States we tested Impossible Sausage. The test went very well. We're excited about that. We're still planning on where and when we should expand that, but we're very excited about new products. Our products in general, because we're a hot and ready model, it's important we get the individual product right. And of course, our products are clean label. We make our dough fresh every day. We use fresh packed sauce. We don't use any fillers in any of our ingredients. So, we want to make sure we keep everything as natural as we can.
And tell us, when you explore consumer behavior on plant-free, are they willing to pay a premium, for example?
No question about it. The research has borne that out. It is a little bit more expensive, but I think the market will catch up over time with that. And consumers always want great value regardless of what they're buying. But I think niche products will carry somewhat of a premium at times, and that's okay.
And tell us, what is the core age group for pizza? I'm thinking teenage boys, video game players, computer programmers, but what's the core demographic?
Yeah, it seems like it's always getting younger. Certainly millennials and Gen Ys, 18 to 25 is a sweet spot. But, families with kids is truly the heart of our business. We love when families come in. They love affordable pizza, great tasting pizza, and they want pizza very convenient with busy lifestyle. So not just hot and ready, but the Pizza Portal and Reserve and Ready certainly allows for us to accommodate a busy lifestyle.
That's the CEO of Little Caesars, David Scrivano. Of course, the company is private. There are a few publicly traded plays. Pizza Royalty, for example, or Restaurant Brands. They own Pizza Hut. What's your preference when it comes to pizza, though?
Well, I'm a Windsor boy, so across the river from Detroit, Little Caesars. So I'm actually partial to Little Caesars. But
what's the pizza like? Because I
mean, it's a fast food pizza, but it's decent.
Yeah.
And again, there's a little bit of a kind of a sentimental kind of thing. Yeah. Growing up and going over to see like a Red Wings game or a Tigers game and picking up Little Caesars. But, back to this kind of delivery thing, he just talked about convenience. We don't do pizza too often in our household, but when we do, it's because we're rushed in the convenience. And I'm not going to go out and drive out and pick out a pizza. I want somebody delivering it. Yeah. So I just a little bit of a different strategy.
I suppose his thing is he's got that, you can pick it up,
right.
the $5 ready-made, and you can order on the app.
Well, the key thing there is it's a kind of a lower end of kind of a little bit more value. He kept stressing value, and I get that aspect. But again, when I'm kind of stressed for time, I want somebody just coming to the door and dropping off. But it's decent pizza.
Yeah. For me, pizza has to be hot. It has to be piping hot. Otherwise, forget it. It's shoe leather.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
And what about pizzas that don't have cheese on them, that are just pesto and stuff?
Yeah, that's not for me. I think you got to have the cheese on there for sure. A critical ingredient there.
You got to load it on. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And just remind us. I know there's New York pizzas, Boston pizzas.
Yes.
Detroit pizzas. Is there anything traditionally distinctive about a Detroit pizza?
Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. It's just, again, just the kind of the brand and the kind of history of it. Yeah.
Let's have a quick look at Restaurant Brands International, because, of course, they have been having trouble with Tim Hortons sporadically. They got improvement. It seems as though the dispute with some of the franchisees has cooled off. So there's that stock. It is off its highs. I'm not sure we can pull up Pizza. I think it's pza.un, but I'm not 100% sure. They pulled off an acquisition, PZA. They did an acquisition quite a while ago in Western Canada, and then, of course, there was the malaise in the Alberta economy, hurt them. So that stock pretty flat over the past year. Anyway, enough pizza, as if you ever could get enough pizza.